Hi, welcome back to my channel, Homestead to Health. My name is Caitlin, and this morning I tried to take the camera along with me to, hey girls. Hey girls. I tried to take the camera along with me this morning to do my chores because I wanted to show what it was like to milk a goat, because later we'll be making goat's milk butter for the first time. I've never done it before. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be something cool to do with the kids. But before I do that though, I need to milk the goats, which I've already done today. How's it going? Those your butters. That's your udder. Purdy's pretty excited. I thought it was supposed to rain earlier. I was outside milking the goats. Whenever I was wearing my glasses just fogged up because the humidity had rolled in so quickly. I've got Purdy's leash. I'm going to do a little bit of enrichment and walk around with her and stuff. She's out here kind of by herself a little too often for our liking. Things are going to change for her soon, but until then she gets her daily walk. Purdy, come here. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. I got you, I got you, I got you. There you are. There you are. There you are. Oh, you're gonna knock me over. You're gonna knock me over. Okay. Okay. We got it. We got it. We're gonna do great things. We're gonna do great things. Okay, let's go. Hi. Hi, Memphis. Hi, baby. How's it going? Purdy has to be on a leash whenever we walk around. She's a great puppy, but she's a big puppy. And lately she's been jumping on the kids and like knocking them over, and they really don't enjoy that. But also she's kind of getting into some trouble chasing the chickens, and I just don't really want to give her an opportunity to think that that's really fun. And so I'm nipping that in the bud by leash training her and walking her around on a leash and kind of showing her like what's fun and what's not fun, what's good fun and not good fun. I'm kind of like the Cat in the Hat, I guess. Started with one toddler puppy and ended up with two awesome toddler people, huh? Woo! Oh, we're caught! Here. My kids are so cool. They're such a blessing to me. I had to stop trying to vlog while walking Purdy. It was just too shaky, and she was just too excited to be on the leash. And so I put the camera down for a second. I'm not sure I was in frame, but you probably saw me bend over and pick something up off the ground and smell it. It's a spring onion. So wild chives grow around here like wild, and there's just something about it. The person that lives over there, like adjacent to us, I think they're mowing today, and you can just smell the smell of onion. And yeah, and it's such a spring smell to me. It smells so good. And so whenever I was walking over there, I saw a couple of patches of it, and I had to stop and pick it and smell it. You know, other places you stop to smell the flowers, and for me, I stopped to smell the onions. Don't do that. So, I hope that's better. So this morning I tried to milk the goats, and I mean I milked them, but I've been having a lot of difficulty milking them. Rizzo is our herd leader, and she just doesn't want to learn how to be milked. She's very stubborn. I now know why they say like stubborn goat, because that is her. She is the embodiment of a stubborn goat. She lays down. I have tried everything. I've tried getting a grill brush underneath her front leg, so whenever she lays down on the grill brush, and so it's uncomfortable. I've tried using a bungee cord to keep her back feet still. I think what it's going to end up taking is me going on Amazon and buying these, I forget what they're called. I'm going to put them here, what they're called. But buying two sets of those to keep her feet still, so that because whenever they lay down one hoof at a time, and I think I should bind her feet so that she can't lay down. This is our first season with these goats. We had purchased them in October 2019. Now it's February 2020, and we haven't had them that long, and I don't think that they were milked before we got them. Right now, who I am milking is Rizzo, the herd leader, and then Daphne, who's the more docile of the three females that we have. But I just don't think that they were worked with before. Daphne is doing great. Daphne, this is like her 4th or 5th morning having been milked. And the way that I milk the goats is that I separate them from their babies at night, so that in the morning that there's milk for me to, harvest from them or to get from them. And then after I milk them in the morning, I don't empty them all the way. I go ahead and I put them back with their babies. I don't want to empty them and then put them back with the babies, and then because just like people, their milk supply adjusts based on how empty they are versus how much their baby needs. And so I am just milking them a little bit and then letting their babies finish them off. I don't know what it was about this morning. Yesterday I had such a successful day. If you're not following me on Instagram, shame on you. But you probably know that I've been struggling learning how to milk these goats and milk them in the way that everyone is successful. But I don't know, maybe it was something about this morning. I cut my finger last night and I had to put a glove on my hand because I didn't want milk getting in it. It was sensitive. I just used a glove to cover my hand. And so maybe I don't know, maybe they're like, who's this murderer over here? But they didn't like the feel of it, I guess. You see that camera? Mm-hmm. That's how, you like to watch us on TV? That's how Mama puts us on TV. Isn't that cool? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Do you want to make butter today? Yeah. How do you make butter?
With peanuts.
With peanut butter? Mm-hmm. That's really smart. But we're going to make goat's butter today. Do you think we use goat milk for goat butter?
Disgusting.
Disgusting. No, it's not disgusting. You remember how you helped Mama milk that goat? Yeah? And that's her ninny milk? Mm-hmm. We're going to take her ninny milk and we're going to put it in a...
Boom.
Yeah. We're going to take her milk and we're going to put it in a blender, and then we're going to like whip it up real big, and then the liquid will turn into solid, and that solid stuff will be butter.
Butter?
Yeah. Do you like to eat butter on bread?
Forget about jelly.
Don't forget about jelly. We won't forget about jelly.
Yeah. If you crack purple peanuts, you might. If you break purple peanuts, that will be yummy, right?
Yeah. You want to make peanut butter one day?
Mm-hmm. Want the purple today?
Mm-hmm.
Want the purple? That would be real good.
That will be real good. Mama's growing peanuts this year. You want to make peanut butter out of the peanuts we grow? Yeah, that's super fun. Oh my gosh, how could you not be anything but in love? All right, you want to go inside and make butter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. So we've moved to my kitchen, and first I just wanted to say that please ignore my kitchen, but also welcome. As I was saying though a second ago in the yard, milking has just been a learning experience for me. So it's actually taken me like 3 days now, 3 or 4 days, to accumulate enough milk to be able to make butter out of it. The taste of the milk is really good. I am skittish when it comes to milk. Like, it's taken me years to be able to share ice cream with like my husband and my children. But if I say that raw goat's milk is tasty, it's tasty. Like I said, I'm skittish. This is going to be pretty fun for me because it's kind of like a progression video, I guess, instead of a progression photo. So day 1, right? I haven't used any of the milk in these jars, so every jar is its own day. So day 1, day 2, and then alas, day 3. So you can see that I was getting better. Between me and the goats, like learning each other and working with each other, I got better at milking. Outside, I was able to kind of briefly go over like an overlook on how to make butter with my 4-year-old. And honestly, it doesn't get much more complicated than that. I'm going to start with my raw filtered goat's milk, and I'm going to put it in my 1970s electric mixer, which I love, by the way. But I'm going to put it on medium-low until it starts to form peaks, the way that whole cream forms peaks whenever it's making whipped cream. And those peaks are going to harden, and whenever it hardens, the hard part that comes away is the butter, and then the liquid that comes off is buttermilk. And so, hopefully, in a perfect world, the butter comes out delicious and the buttermilk comes out really nice, and I can make goat's buttermilk biscuits and goat butter to smear on top of it. Man, it's a mouthful. So I'm going to just keep it with butter and buttermilk. We just know it's from goats. But yeah, I'm giddy. I'm super excited. I can't wait to do this. I think this ends me rambling. Okay, ready? We're going to put all the milk in there. That's a great job. So it's the next day. The butter making for me was a bust, and the reason it was a bust is because the most important step, which is the very first step, was you were supposed to separate the cream from the milk itself. And the way that you do that is you usually put it in the fridge and the cream would separate and rise to the top, like in raw cow's milk that happens. But what makes that really difficult in dealing with goat milk is that goat milk is naturally homogenized. The cream and the milk, they're so well bonded that it doesn't separate near as well as cow's milk. And there were 2 ways that you could separate the cream from the milk. You could leave it to cool and then hope that whatever rises you can skim off and over a period of time collect enough in a jar to do something with. I'm not patient, and I tried to do that last night. I tried putting it back in the refrigerator and harvesting the cream off of it this morning, or collecting the cream off of it this morning. But I literally got maybe a tablespoon of cream, and I'm not about that life. So just staying really true and very real. Sometimes, especially on a homestead, you'll have all these great intentions to do something a certain way, but then it falls through. You weren't nearly as prepared or educated as you might have hoped you would have been. And it's so frustrating to me in particular because I'm usually the kind of person that whenever I start a new project, and or especially like a recipe, I'm usually pretty good about finding different sources and then kind of combining all of them to get a really good overview on what I'm supposed to be doing. However, I obviously didn't do it this time. I started with one recipe, and the recipe, I guess, had assumed information on it, and so I think is an assumption that you knew to separate the cream from the milk, but I didn't know that, and so I paid for it. Here we go. You want to show your pony? Mm-hmm. Okay. So today, instead of butter, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to keep pushing forward. I did go on the internet last night and I looked up ways to make cheese, and I found one that's so simple. Do you know what simple means? What's simple mean? Means easy. Easy. And easy's good, especially for me when I have 2 little ones running around. And I actually did do my research on this, and so I'm saying with confidence what you're going to do, or what I'm going to do. All it needs is vinegar and lemon juice, which I've already juiced my lemon. And you need 1/3 of a cup of lemon juice and 2 tablespoons of vinegar, because the way that this cheese making process works is by acid heat coagulation. And now, when doing this research, I won't lie, the very first page that came up was the most searched, the most used page. It's Google, after all. And this particular person, her blog, or whatever you want to call it, was so informative. It gave you a little bit of a backstory, it gave you a little bit of personal connection with it, that I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put a link in the description for the thing that I'm following, the blog post, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I have vinegar, lemon juice, and I went to the store and I got a digital thermometer and cheesecloth. And that's it. That's all you need. So all in all, this was 5, I think I spent like 13 bucks all in all, if I'm like rounding up, which is far better than the other way that you would have separated the milk from the cream, which is to get a cream separator, which on Amazon, the cheapest one I found was $155. I might invest in something like that later if I really, really wanted butter. But for now, we're doing cheese. Now I'm going to stop talking about it, I'm going to just do it. Little circles. See? Little circles. My milk is almost to temperature, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my sink to be prepared for the next following steps. As you can see, my belly is pretty wet. That's just kind of how I throw down. We're going to put this container down to catch any byproduct. I don't want it to go directly down the drain because I could always use any byproduct with my animals. I know my chickens really like milk and anything milk related, like yogurt and stuff. So I'm going to put the container in the bottom of the sink, followed by a small strainer, and I'm going to double layer some cheesecloth. Okay, so my milk has reached its temperature, and so I'm going to take it immediately off the heat, and I am going to immediately add my lemon juice, and then stir that in. Alright. Whoa, I can already see it separating. This is already so cool to me. So the instructions say to leave this here for 30 minutes and let it do its thing, and then we'll move it to the sink. It's 2:39 now. I did start this over here about 2:35, so right at 3:05, I'll be back. Alright, so the 30 minutes is up, and the curds are really small, but again, the instructions were so well written out that it said to kind of expect that. And so I'm just impressed that it's working. I called my husband during that 30-minute wait, and I was like, I can't believe it's working out. After that butter failure, I'm like shocked. But I think what I'm so shocked by is that it's coming along so easy. So the next step is to slowly ladle it into your cheesecloth. It looks like a little bit of cheese, but I shop a lot at Aldi's, and whenever I buy goat cheese at Aldi's, it's about that big, so it's about the same portion. So the instructions say to let this sit for an hour and then come back and enjoy it. Moving forward, if I like the way that it tastes, I'm going to try experimenting with it. I would like to see what it tastes like with fruit in it, or herbs or garlic or anything like that, salted even. But yeah, I'm really excited. I gotta go to dance. We'll be right back. And okay, so we just finished dinner, and I'm too excited to wait any longer. I want to give it a shot. Here we are. So first things first, it's very crumbly. I know I didn't leave it in the fridge for long, but I'm not so sure that it would set in a firm way if it wasn't weighted down in some way. So I mean, that might be something I try in the future, is weighting it down to see if it, I don't know, fuses together better. But I do want to also add that I wasn't gone just a strict hour. I was gone like an hour and 45 minutes, because that includes travel time to go all the way to dance class and back. So very crumbly, but promising. I bit into it and I was like, that's fruity. What is that? I've never had these crackers before. They're the just the first clean cracker I could find, but they've got like an odd sweetness to them. Oh, there's sugar in there and sesame seeds. So that's sweet. So let me just see what it tastes like by itself. All I can taste is sweetness. Oh wait. Oh dang. Hold on. I know what I'm tasting. So the lemon juice acted with the dairy, and it's got a flavor to it very reminiscent of cheesecake. So absolutely, this is amazing. Okay, texture wise, like I said, it's a little strange, but also I said I let it sit on the faucet for longer than it said. It said an hour. It was an hour 45 minutes. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. I could weight it down. I could twist it in a tube and let it stay that way. But I mean, holy cow. Flavor wise, it's really good. I really like this flavor. I will definitely be making goat cheese again. Thank you so much for hanging out with me yesterday and today. Thank you for laughing along with me. It was a bucket of giggles, I'm sure, to watch me go from making butter to making cheese, because stuff happens. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you're not following me on Instagram, you totally should. It's Homestead to Health with underscores in between the words. I'll see y'all later. Girls, come try this cheese.